It always seems that the question most of our clients who are relocating to Prince George ask us is, how bad are the winters? In this episode of the podcast, we're going to talk about the winters in Prince George, things to do, and our fondest memories. So stick around and join us. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Colin here, and I'm along with the other members, except for Bailey today, of the One Oak Real Estate Group. How are you two doing today?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. What makes it fantastic today?
You know, it is not that cold out today, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had our first little cold
Very
snap,
good point.
and now it's moderate.
Yeah. Jessica, how's things going?
Things are great. It actually looks
Jessica's
like it might
always
be
having
kind of sunny out.
There she is.
Oh,
Nice. Jessica always seems to be having technical issues. We have suggested maybe a new computer for Christmas, you know, hint, hint.
I think she just
Wink,
got,
I just
a,
got
new
a new
computer.
computer.
I think she got a new... Yeah. The fiance spoiled her.
Ah, yes. No longer the boyfriend. She has been upgraded to a fiance. Excellent. Okay, while she's sorting herself out, we're going to have my random fact for the day. And I'm just a big fan of random facts. So each podcast we get a random fact. This one is really neat because it has to do with animals. Did you know dolphins sleep with one eye open?
That's creepy.
Just one.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
They are known to be one of the smartest animals in the world, and that's possibly because they actually can conserve their brain power, and because they do this because they're constantly looking for predators, and they've developed a neat trick while they're sleeping to sleep with one eye open so that they can keep an eye on things, and they sort of semi-sleep, if that's, kind of half sleep. But human beings, being, the human beings that we are, we've done a lot of research on them, and it does not affect their cognitive abilities and alertness over long periods of time. So that is my random fact for the day.
Could you imagine if humans slept with one eye open?
No.
Creepy.
That would be super creepy. Jessica's like, no, that would be far too weird.
However, Jazzy sleeps with her eyes open.
Dog, when
No.
your sister sleeps with her eyes open.
She does.
I cannot wait for her to hear you announce that on our podcast.
Yeah.
Creepy.
I wonder how Jazzy's going to feel about you, outing her sleep habits on our podcast.
I don't know.
Okay, so like I said at the top of the podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about, or a whole lot actually, about winter in Prince George. I love winter. I love Prince George, how it has all four seasons, and they're very, very distinctive. Somewhere along the line, and I can understand this because when I was growing up here in the 70s and 80s, I'm dating myself, I know, winter was a lot tougher. It's not as tough anymore. Wouldn't you guys say?
I do remember a snowfall when I was here as a child that, it was intense. We don't have those intense winters, I don't think, like we used to. However, I lived in Kidmat a number of years ago, and when we were there, we had 6 feet of snow. I want to say it was within 48 hours, we had 6 feet of snowfall.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone was
Gosh.
stuck at home.
Yeah, I was going to say that's more or less like, is that not a one-off?
It definitely
like
was a one.
Yeah, because I think, most of the clients that I work with, and over the past couple of years, like over, like the pandemic, so many people have relocated up to Prince George from the Lower Mainland, and they all have this, those that haven't really spent a long time here have this thought of that our winters are brutal.
I don't think that our winters are necessarily brutal, but we do have a couple of weeks where it's not, I don't want to be here.
Honestly, for me, it's once we get into, mid to late January and February, it always feels like it's just going on maybe a little bit too long. I think for me, it's the length of it. And the single thing that really does it in for me is the short days.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Right? Because it does get dark here. It's pretty dark by 4:30. Around the solstice, the winter solstice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it starts slowly, ever so slowly, the days increasing, right? So,
I think I've made it pretty clear that I'm a fair weather person.
Yeah.
So, that those couple of days or up to a week where it goes down to about the minus 40s. No, I can do without that. That is probably the number one thing I could do without. But the nice part is that we don't get snow when it's that cold. So it's not like you need to go outside to shovel your driveway.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's actually the nice thing, if anybody can say that about it, being minus 40 or even 30 or 25, like we had a few days at minus 25, is that in order to get that cold, it's clear sky, super sunny, blue sky, and it's really, really nice in that way.
Beautiful.
Nice to look at from inside your home, right?
Yes. And if you need to get into your vehicle, you get into your vehicle, you drive to your destination, you get out, you say, nope, 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 and run as fast as you can into a building.
Is that what you do?
Absolutely.
You're just like, nope, 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 nope.
Nope, 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 nope.
I really want to get some video of that. And that that is the truth. Most people, their cars, except for Bailey, her car doesn't have a remote start on it. That you can start your car up, and then basically you go from your house to your car. And if you're one of the lucky ones that have a garage, you don't have to worry about it. But if you got to go house to car, make sure that it's warm, you jump in there, and then you go to where you're going, and it's nice and warm in your car, and then you get out and go inside again. And if you're like Cherie, you run and you say, nope, 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 nope. So
someone's going to catch footage of it. Nope, 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 nope.
Yeah. There are, however, and I have some really, really amazing memories growing up here in Prince George of the winters. What great memories do the two of you have of Prince George during the winters?
So I have lived in College Heights for most of the time that I've lived in Prince George. And at one point we lived really close to College Heights Secondary, which everyone knows that's like the place to go tobogganing. It's amazing.
I'm going to disagree with you, but go ahead.
Well, that's where we used to go. My brother and I would go for so long that like our fingers would just be frozen. And we'd come home and my mom would always make us hot chocolate and cinnamon toast. And we'd dip our little cinnamon sticks toast into the hot chocolate. And yeah, that's probably my favorite winter memory is getting the hot chocolate and the cinnamon sticks after we've been outside for so long.
Okay, my mom did the same thing.
Did she?
Cinnamon toast, and my mom always made her bread. So toast, butter, cinnamon,
a little sprinkle of sugar.
Icing sugar.
Oh, you got icing sugar.
Yeah, that was the snow.
Oh, I love that.
It was the snow, and then she would cut it into fingers and dip it in. I know, right? Like, great memories, right? Jessica.
I think probably the same. I mean,
We always lose her.
We too lose her.
I would say probably the same. I mean, we had a hill across from where we lived, and so we were able to go whenever we wanted. And it was amazing to go tobogganing down there and then come home to hot chocolate.
This is so funny because all three of us have the same memory. Like I lived on top of I grew up in Seymour subdivision, and that's at the top of Carney Hill. Now, Carney Hill is the best place to toboggan. I don't
Agree
care
to
what.
disagree.
Yes, I don't care which. College Heights, the run is so short.
Okay,
Carney
agree.
Hill, it's nice and long. So we literally, like, obsessive. We literally, you get out of school, elementary school, we'd burn home, grab our toboggan, and then everybody would meet back at the hill. And we would do that till like 5 o'clock when had to go for dinner. And I used to, like, this is how obsessive, I'd get like a toboggan and I would wax my toboggan so it went extra fast. And I would bring a shovel with me, and I
Hilarious.
can remember the shovel in my mind, and my buddies and I, we would build jumps. And I swear, each one of us probably came close to dying at least once. We would do stupid stuff. Now I look back and you know what? I look back now and all I do is go, oh, that's why my back hurts so much.
Yeah, those jumps are brutal. I do it now with my kids, and I think I did it 1 year, and I was like, hard pass, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, you
Oh.
stand up and your butt hurts.
As soon as you catch air, you're like, this is so great. Hit, no, game over.
And you're like me, I'd be like, oh, at 52.
I said the same thing. Oh, I'm 52.
Oh, yeah. Sure. You young punks. So that is an absolute fantastic memory of mine. Other things such as going and getting the Christmas tree. We always went into the bush. And I can remember I'd have my dad had an old fashioned saw, like a
Like the back
two-person
and
saw.
forth? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd put that over myself, and then we would, get our suits on and our toots and gloves, and we would just go straight in. And I can remember, and probably because I was younger, that the snow would be like waist high. And just like trudging along into the forest to find a tree.
Yep.
Have to get the okay from my mom. Okay, that's the one. And then we would start working on it. And thankfully, my dad was super strong. He hauled it out. I just sort of try to help, but when you're little, it's a little bit harder. But it was always fun to go out into the bush and cut down the tree, bring it home, and do that. And also, I grew up where we had fires. Like we had fireplaces, and which I don't think you can have anymore. But we always heated our house with wood. Like we had gas, like we lived in the city, but we'd always have at least one of the fireplaces, because we had one of the fireplaces going. Mm. And that was a big source of heat, and I love the smell, love the sounds, love the heat.
You know what I didn't love about that, though? My parents also had 2 fireplaces that they would occasionally burn some wood. The stacking, the cutting, the hauling. No, I didn't love that.
Okay, how did you have to do that? Because my sister got, she didn't have to do any of that. I had to do it.
My brother had to do it too. But it was very much like mom is inside doing house stuff, and the kids and the dad go outside and do not anything to bother my mom.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah,
Oh, wow.
we had a 3-year pile rotation, and we had to move the piles all around, and
No.
my dad would split it. Like in the fall, we'd get the big truck would come into our driveway and dump it on the lawn. And then my dad would set up and he would split, and I would start rotating the piles around, taking the second year one, putting it in the house, taking the first year one, putting where the second one, and
Oh
then
my
putting the new
gosh.
stuff in there, and we just rotate it all the time. I know. And after a while, your back hurts, and you see all your buddies in the field playing, and you're like, yeah. But on this note, this is how I learned how to work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I had no
Yep.
choice. I had to do that. And you learned, okay, yeah, put my head down and do that. And my dad also always taught me to do the heavy stuff first. Right? So
Yeah.
nowadays, whenever I have a task, I always look for the heaviest or the hardest thing first, eating the frog first thing in the morning kind of thing, right? So anyways, as we reminisce, Cherie,
Yeah.
you compiled some really awesome things that are going on in our community. So there is, outside of sledding and tobogganing, which is probably the greatest thing ever to do in Prince George, apparently, according to the three of us, you've compiled a list of some of the things that are going on around the Christmas holidays this year.
Well, I'm the only one who has kids, so
Most
I think that I
likely.
probably go to more of these than everyone else in the group. But with my kids,
Just because, like, most likely. Yeah.
with my kids, we love going to the Railway Museum. So Kathy and her team does such a great job. I don't know how many lights they put up, but sometimes they advertise how many lights that they put up, and it is beautiful. It is seriously something else.
So
You can
Railway
walk-
Museum, sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you, Railway Museum is down on Cottonwood Island Park for
It
anybody
is.
listening that's new to Prince George.
They do a great job with it. You can walk around, you can look at all of the trains. They're all decorated with Christmas lights and different little displays. But probably the best part of it is they have a mini train that you sit on, and it takes you around on this little path. And in the, I'm not a farmer, silo? I think they're the silos.
Oh, the Beehive.
Yeah, so when you go
Yeah.
through there, they have it all decorated inside with lights, and it is one of the, I would say it's 20
Aw.
seconds that you're inside, and it is the highlight for me every year. It's silent. Everyone is just in awe over all of these lights, and it is beautiful. I wish I could jump off the train and just sit in there for a while. Absolutely beautiful. I love that.
I was going to say, and I'm going to regress again to our previous conversation there. I love being out in the forest.
Yes.
Cross country skiing, being out in the forest at night in the wintertime. If you have come from a city and you've never known silence, go out into the bush at wintertime here in Prince George, and it's magical how silent it is.
It really is. Yeah.
I love it. Out at Otway, and I'm sure as soon as they have enough snow, they'll be open if they are not open now. And it's a wonderful place to go during the holidays and all winter. And you can head out onto the trails, and they have some lit up, and it is absolutely magical out there as well, because you're skiing along there, and all you hear is the swishing of your skis, and you're way up
Beautiful.
in the bush. And if you're there at night and you're on a lit trail, it's unbelievable. It's worth the price of admission, which I don't think is very much. I think it's like $5 or something like that. But get a pass if you like cross country skiing. Get a pass. Next up on your list, Cherie.
You know what? I don't have the list in front of me. So the winter cold snap It's pretty fun for kids too.
Yeah.
And again, I think the Railway Museum brings the little train out. You can take the little train around in there. There's usually live music. Sometimes they do a performance. The best part of it, though, they build this ice sculpture slide.
What?
It is amazing. The lineup is a little bit long sometimes, but it's a must. It's a must. It is fantastic.
So the Kids Cold Snap festival is going on January 29th from 2 to 4. 2 to 4:30, sorry. And then the Adult Cold Snap Festival, January 27th from 7:30 to 10:30. And we bring in some amazing musicians and things to do. And please take advantage of these things. If you're in Prince George or you are a Prince Georgian, they do help make winter that much better. One of my favorite things, and you can probably guess which one, and I always seem to be a little bit late on the draw because tickets went on sale last weekend, and I'm sure they're already sold out, but it's Alefest. Oh, Cherie got tickets to
Said
Alefest.
something, I would have gotten you tickets too.
I know.
You can
It's
only
one
buy
of-
4 tickets at a time now.
Yeah, so this is Alefest, which is going on January 28th. They have an afternoon session usually, and a couple of sessions in the evening, and 7:30 to 10:30, and all the brewers from up north here are there, and it is terrific. Make sure that you are not driving afterwards. That's a absolute must. But it's so fun, and if you like beer, there's not a better place to be. So next thing up, and I drove by this the other day, is the light up at the winery. Yeah, at the Orchard on Pulp Mill Road, and it's ongoing, and it's lit up between 6 and 9, and you can walk around there. And I know it's a favorite to many people to get pictures taken, solely because it's again quite magical. Do you take the kids there, Cherie?
You know what? I haven't yet. I think that last year was their first one, if I'm not incorrect. And I have not taken them there yet.
Oh,
But I probably should.
you should. I think
Yeah.
I drove by it last weekend, I think. And yeah, it's really, really cool.
We love Christmas lights. Like when I'm driving with the kids, if we happen to notice someone has a well-decorated house, we're looping back and we're going over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love Christmas lights.
Absolutely.
Which, speaking of which, there's Candy Cane Lane too.
Yeah.
Which that's open now. It's started on December 1st.
Amazing.
The only time I didn't live in College Heights, I lived on Candy Cane Lane, and it is really beautiful. The
Why don't
trees and the
They need to rename it.
It
They
is.
need to rename the street.
Yeah, we do,
to
but
Candy
we
Cane
drive.
yeah.
We do not walk.
That's right by Jessica's place. Jess, do you go there?
Some people do.
No. Nobody walks it.
You know, sometimes I make the kids walk. I walk too. I don't drive. And make the kids walk.
Yeah. You mean you don't kick the kids out of the car and you drive and they have to walk it?
No, I try not to do that.
Nice. That
But
would
people
be fun.
do take sleighs
So
around.
many.
though. They do a little sleigh ride through there.
What? Really?
Yeah, and lots of limos go around.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Speaking of sleigh rides, Crazy M Ranch also has sleigh rides.
And they are beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes.
years ago I've been on one, and I've been on one up on Cranbrook Hill as well, which was amazing because we got some real fresh powder, and they just went right through the forest, and it was unbelievable. I see a certain thread going to all of our great memories and things to do. There's lights and sledding.
You know, I think that one of my kids' like probably core memory now. Last year during the Christmas holidays, I kept the boys up late one night, and it was quite dark out, and gave them little headlamps. And we took their sleds out to College High
Oh my
Secondary,
gosh.
and we sled. It was probably like 8:30 to 10:30. They sled
Aw.
with like just their headlamps on, and they loved it. We just had hot chocolate and sled, and no one else was out there. It was beautiful.
Now, how quickly did they fall asleep?
Oh, probably right away that night.
I was going to say that's one of the things is walking. If you got very active children, just take them sledding. You know, you do a few runs up and down that hill, and having to walk up that hill. As an adult now, I just look and I'm like, I'm not quite sure if I'm made for this anymore. But yeah, I'm sure your kids were like quickly passed out in the car before you even got home.
Well, actually, I think might have even been that night. I had the sunroof open on my vehicle, just like not the screen over top of it. And I have a
Aw.
moonroof actually, so it extends quite a bit. And one of the boys was like, "Look how beautiful the stars are." And so the whole way home, that's what they were looking at, because they don't get to see it all the time. Or inside or in summertime when they are up later, you don't see the stars because I don't let them stay up that late.
Nice. One thing that we didn't mention that I have to put in here in January is the Snowed In Comedy Tour, which comes January 13th, and that's from 6:30 to 10:30. That's another real good fun event if you like stand-up comedy, which I know a lot of people do because it's very popular here in Prince George. Another thing, and it's coming up really quick here, is the Winterfest Market. And
That's the Civic Center.
December 10th and 11th from 10 to 4. And I do believe that's downtown, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
opposite of Summerfest, and they have it in the streets. Is it at the Civic Center, Jess? Jess is kind of breaking up here a little bit. Cool. So those are some really, really great things to do in Prince George over the holidays as well as into January to help make sure that winter is fun. So before we sign off here, does anybody else have anything to add to our list of super awesome things to do during the winter?
I think the only other thing is there's lots of skating. So there is the Ice Oval, which is newer, and they do have some refrigeration issues with keeping the ice cool, so they're not always open, so you do have to check in before going. But then there's a lot of small community sort of ice rinks around town, which are usually open, but they're not as well maintained as the Oval is, because it's usually volunteer based if someone goes and maintains it or not. But those are a lot of fun. We used to do that a lot as a kid, and I take my kids now. Even.
Yeah, that's basically how I learned how to skate. We had a park in front of us and a school behind us, and both had ice rinks.
Beautiful.
And we spent, again, a ton of time out there.
And I think that, I know that they changed their name. They're the Coliseum downtown.
Yes.
I know that
it's Copar now.
Copar,
Falls.
yes.
Yep. Was Rolling Mix, now it's Copar.
They also have open skating times if you check out on their website. So indoor skating is an option when it's really cold.
Yeah, brilliant. And again, when it's really cold, something for the seniors, and my parents have been doing this, is going over to CN Center. And it's open during the day, and they just walk laps, and strange enough, all their friends are there, and they have a good time just walking around there and not freezing, So it's just not outdoor stuff for young people or people with kids or stuff like that, but there are things for seniors to do as well.
I think they have a walking group at the mall too, early in the morning.
Ah, when the stores are closed and they just walk around in
Yeah.
the loop.
Yep.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I got to tell my parents about that.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
You can window shop.
Yeah, exactly. So, all good. Excellent. So we'll just wind up this podcast. I hope all of you listening got a little bit of value and check out some of these amazing things that are going on in our city that add to, the richness of our lives living in Prince George. So again, like I always say, if you're looking for real estate here in Prince George, please give us a call. We're the One Oak Real Estate Group, and we'd be happy to help you. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.